Some Tennessee humidity, friends. Had to wipe away some Tennessee humidity. Hello and welcome to Monday. Um, yeah, yeah. It's one of those like I'm just gonna go live, gonna flick the switch and then see what happens. You know, before I even open these doors. Look, oh, there goes the glare. Oh, that glare is gone now. Hello, all of you fine people. Let's carve out our little corner of the internet tonight. Let's wall ourselves off from the rest of society tonight. Let's enjoy books tonight and each other's company tonight, and have some community, some much needed, blissful, wonderful community. And I'm happy to see you all here because I need it, maybe even more than all of you. So, hello, Jay Stones, Mike Hughes, Jason, Christopher. Good evening. Stoked for Thursday Suntup. Yes. Ron, Brandon, Mark. Number one is here. Good evening, number one. Now I see other people. I don't know what those badges are with Jay Stones and Mike. It looks like you're competing for number one. And then Jason's got number three there. I don't know who is, but there's always one number one, and that is Sherry H. She is number one. Then there's Tim, Joshua, Phil, Alan, good evening. Patty, good evening. And hello. Hello. Oh, it's a little bright in here, a little real hot going on. We're gonna bring it down a little bit. You're gonna feel like you're in a bunker. You know what? I kind of, when I get the lighting, there's this, it's either blown out or I get it where it feels like I'm sitting there in the recliner with the blue light from the TV on my face, watching Hill Street Blues, and nobody else is in the house. And I'm just sinking deeper into the recliner and into my own regrets. That's what I think blue light. When I think of blue light and the TV screen, and that's the only light in the room, it's very triggering. Have you seen Skinamarink? Because that's pretty much the whole thing. Skinamarink. Lance, good evening. Show number 201. Yes. David, Jim, good to see you. We don't need no stinking badges. No. Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. is here. Good evening. Hill Street Blues. Do. That, you know what that meant when I was a little kid? Time to go to bed. I know you're a little older than me, Mark, so you probably were able to stay up a little later than that. But this blue light business is like, calm yourself. You know, it's just like, I guess I could combat it. We're doing, oh no. Whatever, we can't combat it. Oh, terrific, wonderful, rolling disasters. Or not. We could, we got to get the light going, man. We got to get the light going. Okay. There. Oh, all right. That was worth a little bit of sidetracking. About to fly to Louisiana. Catch you on the replay. Go get some crawfish. New Orleans is like probably my favorite place on earth is New Orleans. So I'm very jealous. I don't know where you're going in Louisiana, but I love New Orleans. It's the only place I've been. Metairie in New Orleans. So I really don't know. And thank you for the kind words about the newsletter. Thank you. My grandfather died today, so this will be a short visit. A lot of new developments, including a surprise trip to Illinois. I'm so sorry to hear that, Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. It doesn't matter. Like it's a whole, even though we expect death, even though we know it's coming for all of us, unless, you're a fictional character, it's coming. It doesn't make it any easier. And I'm so sorry to hear that, Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. I feel like hopefully you can get closure. Hopefully it's a time to celebrate your grandfather's life, and the surprise trip to Illinois will be good for your soul or your spirit or whatever makes Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr. Your consciousness your essence. I'm trying to be inclusive of whatever you may believe in, but I'm sorry you're going through that. So yes, please don't feel like we'll still give you full pay tonight. Which reminds me, I got to reach out to you about the Patreon. Well, whatever. It started in 81. I was 26. 81, I was 9 years old. Time to go to bed at 9 o'clock at night or whatever it was. I can't decide what's better. No Country for Old Men and Thursday or getting Centipede's Frankenstein. No Country for Old Men will probably be your, yeah. Oh my God. Did you see that teaser from Suntup? It's No Country for Old Men. I think everybody knows that. But holy shit, is that going to be an amazing addition? Oh my God. And when he did the teaser, I said, I feel like it's 2018 all over again. It was 2 years before the world was shut down. We didn't know how good we had it. Yeah, it's a real old man thing to say. What have you got for me today, Magic Duff Bucket? This is that 15% ABV Affogato. Affogato from Goldfish Head. Dogfish Head. Goldfish Head. Yeah, I haven't even had any, and I'm stumbling over the words. So you can kind of see how that goes. Affogato. And yes, Affogato. So anyway, what was I saying? I can't do the replay. I can't play it back. We're just gonna have to keep going. But this is the 15%. If it's gonna do me in early, that's fine. That's fine. Got my Suntup mug right here. I wish I could get that No Country for Old Men on Thursday. And yeah, it just took me right back seeing that teaser to the heyday of Suntup, which is crazy to say because it's not like Suntup they're not even 10 years in. It's not even like we can look back on a golden era. It was like 5 minutes ago. But he's done so many books, and I know Tim got Boy's Life numbered edition. You are just a lucky guy. Lucky, and I mean that you've earned your luxuries, Tim. I'm sure, and I'm happy to see you enjoy them. So, is it? Ah! Oh, did you guys hear Jill? Did you guys hear? So, for anybody who knows, on the Patreon, I put the link up for JeffCon tickets for the paid Patreon supporter tier. And that is live. We got all the bugs worked out. Nothing's perfect. So there were several things that we kept sweating. You know, there's notification emails that your payment is processing or whatever the case is, all these contingency emails that we kept trying to get ahead of and figure out if it should be worded differently or whatever. But at the end of it, we're just going to let the process play out. If you have any snags on ordering tickets, let us know. Let me know, and we'll get to the bottom of it. I don't think there's going to be any snags with the process, but you may get weirdly worded emails that don't sound at all like Beef Daddy, and you're going to be like, okay, that was just Squarespace talking to you. That's just the bots, and the important thing is you get your tickets and we get your name and we know who is going to be there and we can get a head count. We can get some of these other things that are log jammed rolling. And so anyway, I'm very excited. Jill worked her ass off on this site and I'm very proud of her and what she pulled together. It's like we're learning as we go. We don't build websites all the time. We've had some experience with it, but this was our first time actually tackling like an e-commerce site. So that's a whole different learning curve. You know, we've had blogs before. We've done other bits of communication. We've designed for other people. This is the first time we've tried to take money for a product. So I hope it all goes well. I hope everybody can get in there and get a ticket if you're of a mind. So yes. Hey Jason, good to see you, JJ. Christopher, I don't know if I said hi to you, Christopher. I just wanted to make sure I'm catching up with everybody. Yes. Yeah, I'm everybody's giving their condolences to you, Stephen, Dwayne, Allison Jr., and I hope you're able to see that. But I don't know who's looking at the chats, but I assume Stephen, Dwayne, Allison Jr., you are one of them. Happy birthday, Lance. Oh, yeah. I just had my 57th trip around the sun yesterday. Oh, happy birthday, Lance. Cheers to you. Happy birthday to you. Any thoughts on the latest King political mess? I will say this. I had I thought it was crass, ugly, spiteful, childish what he wrote, and completely misinformed because he slandered he made a statement that was factually incorrect. And so you wonder where he got that idea from. Did he just pull it out of his ass? Or did he get bad information and then act on it? Did somebody whisper in his ear, yeah, well, Charlie Kirk said this, and then he tweeted about it without fact checking? Whatever the case may be, I thought it was ugly. Like, even if you're even if you really hate somebody, like I've seen a lot of very thoughtful, critical posts about Charlie Kirk where people were writing things that were more about a discussion about the nature of debate and what an opinion is versus what they consider to be crossing the line. And that's fine. That's a good discussion to have. That's a great thing to do. That's a healthy society when we can talk about this shit. What Stephen King did was ugly and petty and immature. It's like I would expect a 15-year-old kid who doesn't have any goddamn sense to write something like that. Because even if somebody is a political adversary, somebody you're contradicted with, you either say nothing or you say something that builds on the discussion, that adds something to the conversation, other than an ugly, yeah, well, whatever. I mean, it's just so petty and beneath somebody with a career as a writer, as somebody elevated to that platform, to that status. Somebody, if you're an author, you should have empathy. You should be able to understand things from multiple points of view. And in that case, know that human nature is very complicated. And I know, I thought it was really beneath him. But somebody emailed me, and I think a lot of people might be surprised to know who it was. I'm not going to say who it was. A couple people had. And anyway, the idea was, I'm really debating on ever reading Stephen King again or ever buying any of his books. And that's fine, I think, if that's what you feel. But I don't usually punish people for their opinions or their thoughts. I might lose respect for them, but art, I judge differently. Like, for example, what Neil Gaiman did was disgusting and vile and criminal. I would never want to read anything by him, I think, because he seems like a predator. He seems like somebody who preys on women who are vulnerable women become his and it's disgusting. And I think he's reviled. That's actual criminal behavior. But Stephen King writing what he did, that's an ugly moment. It's a thoughtless moment. And then he lost $15 million, I guess. People are pulling his books off of shelves. People aren't seeing The Long Walk. And yeah, I mean, I don't judge people who react however they want to react. But for example, the people that worked on The Long Walk, there's a whole bunch of people that these are of art. And I think as long as a person's not a monster, In other words, I'm giving you permission to buy from whoever you think you should buy from. And I would not, I would, if I'm not taking Stephen King books off my shelf. Let's just put it that way. It's an ugly moment for him. I've had several ugly moments. I've said stupid things over my life. I've had horrific positions on things that I've changed my mind about, or stupid, uninformed ideas about the world and people. It's sad to see a 70-something-year-old guy that has to learn, that to me is, whatever. But those are my thoughts. I wouldn't boycott over that. If the guy, I boycott Roman Polanski films, let's say that. I mean, yeah, guy's disgusting. Anyway. There's the happy birthdays and the condolences. I love it. I love seeing that. This is community. These are us. This is us. The teaser was awesome. Old school son stuff. I know it's like old school, but they're still new school. Are they going to have artist editions? I think so. Yeah, for No Country. Yeah, I think so. It should be ironed out, Mike. Jill, the password thing's ironed out, right? Refresh your browser and try to go through again, Mike. Oh, never mind. It's open now. His very next comment said it was open now. Okay. I was there for the older days of Tup. The older dogs may remember. Yep. I know. I had to reach out to Jared for tracking. Oh, okay. You guys are talking about Frankenstein. Ugly times we live in. Yes. King should stop posting. I'm sure his agent called him up screaming at him. He did apologize. He did apologize for it. His subsequent tweets. So that's another thing. Like, he posted it and then he owned his mistake right after. My thing is, like, it's the same thing with Nepenthe Press. It showed who he was when he didn't need to be held accountable, and he didn't need to when nobody was holding his feet to the fire, he said something really stupid and ugly. And then everybody corrected him and he apologized. That's good. And Eli John for apologizing for that mess at Nepenthe was good. And I think we should embrace people who change and grow. So he did apologize, and that should be acknowledged. I would like to think that I'd have the opportunity to apologize for. Thank God I grew up in a time where there were no cell phone cameras. That's the only reason I can walk about in society a free man. I didn't do anything like major criminally bad. And if you're my kids and you're watching, I did nothing illegal ever. But I would hate, we're catching every thought that anybody ever has, and we're posting it on the forever internet. So that's really stupid. That is really dumb. Because I learned a long time ago, I went off the deep end on some news stories. I'm not going to go into what they were because it was pretty embarrassing. And I was so fired up. I'm like, I will boycott this restaurant. This is disgusting. How could you be like this? And then new information comes out, and then you get more details, and then you learn that, and then you start to see the humanity in everybody, and you're like, okay, all right, we all make mistakes. And I don't want to add my mistake to their mistake, and whatever. Cooler heads should prevail. Oh, are you heading out, Mark? Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I know. I just was just talking about, it was brought up. And I think we should be able to talk about these things. And I wasn't planning. I mean, if you look at my notes, they were nowhere on there was Stephen King. So, but it has been talked, it has been brought up to me around, like I said, emails and in some texts specifically about Stephen King. And I said what I had to say in my newsletter. And yes, I think there's a level of exhaustion, and we're here to talk about books and enjoy a break, because I think we all need a break. So that was my strategy for turning on the live tonight. And we'll just, you know what? To paraphrase an old saying, better to keep your mouth closed and open it and confirm you're an idiot. Many would and could say that Mr. Kirk was at heart was okay. I'm not going to get into that. I decided not to read King after Fairy Tale. What about Cormac's controversial preference? I know. And that's really awful. It is. I think the guy passed away, and there's nothing I could say about it that defends it or justifies it. I could try to explain it. I could try to put a spin on Cormac McCarthy that said there's been no pattern of predatory behavior on his part that has been exposed. And what he ended up in, the relationship he ended up in, it did last for a long time, didn't it, or something? But that's putting a frosting over a turd, and calling it a cake. So, yeah, I know it's very problematic. Paul should take a month off every now and then and do more teaser videos. I agree. Hello, happy Monday. I'm going in and out. My computer hates me tonight. Well, I'm sorry that's the case, Russell. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad for your good news recently, and tell Rolled Oats that he could stop chewing on your internet cable because you want to watch the show tonight, because that's probably what's happening. Read an amazing book yesterday, The Envelope. No, RA, see, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I could put a spin on it. I could put a nuance it, but that's frosting on a turd and calling it a cake. It's an excuse. So I'm just saying that those are the ways people who would want to justify what he did could contort their brains into saying, well, that's okay. I know. I know. It's pretty awful. And I would never condone it. And you could honestly say that, knowing that fact about him and his life. And okay, the same thing with Jimmy Page. I mean, well, we could go through all these authors and artists and rock musicians. I mean, we could really get into it, and you could come up with a list of people that should just be in jail. It would be a very long list. And I'm not saying that means we should blow the fuse and forgive them all. No. And but you could take that fact and say, like, I'm not going to send any more money to the Cormac McCarthy estate because, he's not benefiting financially from any of his works. No, none of his royalties, but I'm sure it goes to his estate, which might go to his son and whoever, and you could take that stance, and it would not be an overreaction, I suppose you could say. Yeah, it's a hard thing to do. I mean, it's like, again, I separate it at opinion. If you have an opinion I disagree with, and you've done nothing criminal, that's whatever. I think we should all be able to see each other's as human beings with different experiences. But yeah, I mean, I know I think it was a secret for 40 years, I suppose, right? I mean, but yeah, I'm just being a troll. No, you make a good point, and that's like I don't want anybody to think I was actually defending it. As a father of 3, my daughter is 18, but when she was 16, if there was there'd be a problem for Beef Daddy. I don't know where I would be housed, if it would be in general population or if I'd be out of jail by now. Because yeah, I mean I don't know about jail, but definitely not allowed near children. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Jimmy Page once abducted a 14-year-old and kept her away from her entire family and basically brainwashed her. And I don't know if he married her, but she was his long-term girlfriend. Jimmy Page. Now, are you going to listen to Led Zeppelin? That's disgusting. I mean, it's slightly worse than Cormac McCarthy. It's 2 years worse. So Jimmy Page and Led Zeppelin, love their music, adore their music. Do you not buy it? I mean, he's still alive, right? I think so. Steven Tyler too became her guardian. Yes, I forgot about that. Yes, we all find ways to turn an eye, don't we? Like, you know, and when I was a kid, after reading that one scene in It, I wondered, like, is something going to come out about Stephen King? I hate to do that because that which brings me to the story I'm writing for Jeff Con. I don't know how it's going to be when you guys read it, or how it turns out, or as a thing. I just know I'm having a blast writing it, and I hope that comes through. I really, really, it was a very hard thing for me to do. Like a total exercise in understanding the art form of. It's not easy. It's not easy to write. I'm amazed. It made me even more amazed at all the authors we read: Phil Fracassi, Tyler Jones, Keelan Patrick Burke, Ronald Malfi, Stephen King. All these authors, like, wow, what it takes, because it's a crazy thing to do. And I've done it before. I've written a lot of fiction, but nothing that really got up and walked around and lived like this. Nothing that had a space that could start to render in the mind of a reader the way this does. And I love it, and I'm hoping you're going to enjoy it. And I don't want to be judged by the things I'm writing, you know? Like I love the freedom of expression, and it's like it's an exercise to take your imagination to all these places you would not go in reality. And then to have the world judge you and say, well, why is that in your mind? I bit my tongue like yesterday, really, really bad. So if I'm talking like, it's just, I bit my tongue, and I just did it again because it's so sore. But anyway, it's going to be a blast. I mean, it is written for us. So I'm trying to load it with Easter eggs without breaking the whole thing and just making it look like it's just I'm inserting things where I can. And I really do hope at the very least you judge me kindly on it. and enjoy it at some level and just get a kick out of it. So it's been a lot of fun. Hello, sorry I'm late. Just right back from my son's hockey practice. Nice. Hockey is very expensive. It's very expensive gear. They grow out of it right away. Jerry Lee Lewis was another horrific example. Page's autobiography after his death will reveal it all. Yeah, maybe. The scene in it ruined the book. I think I was 14 when I read it, and I was shocked. But as a 14-year-old, you're like, oh, this is what a horror book has in it, you know? The Hill House of Bradbury's The Cat's Pajamas has that picture of his wife that he cheated on twice. That's ugly. I don't think most people, readers, judge writers on their subject matter. It's fiction, tales to be told, right? But yet, I think the only thing that kicked that into my brain was the whole thing with that scene in It. Like, how does your brain go there? And then when I read 11/22/63, there's echoes of that, and I'm like, dude, you're kind of fixated. So, and I guess it's unfair. It's pretty unfair to do. To somebody who's trying to be an artist. You know, I think art is just the human way of communicating emotion. I mean, and stretching the limits of the human condition. You can't do it normally in the real world, but on paper you can test. It's a philosophical experiment. What would a person do if? How would they react, and what would be the consequences if? And it's a playground. Hopefully for the reader, not just the author. Hopefully the author is good enough to get the reader to start building things and saying, wow, well, that was a great story. Imagine if this character did this other thing, and you get to live in the world for a while. Like, for example, I'm rereading Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre, and man, did I miss those people, those characters. I'm reading it for the second time. It's even better the second time because, again, you get to focus. You're not trying to piece together who's the killer, but you get to be in the moment and experience the whole thing with confidence, like with a little wink. Once you see that killer appear in the story, you're like, oh, damn. And then you can kind of see, oh, well, now what that character said makes a little more sense, has a little more nuance to it. And it's a lot of fun. Reading a murder mystery is a lot of fun the second time. And I really had an affection for all of these characters. Rose Dubois is such an awesome character. I loved her. And Miller, and oh my God, I got to, there's a scene early on with this guy Tatum, and he's going through dementia. And if you just take that one little chapter, it's almost a standalone story. And you'll get choked up if you have a soul. If you have a heart in your soul, you're going to get choked up at the end of that chapter. And I'm like, that was beautiful, just beautiful Fracassi writing. And man. Hello, Jeff. Good to see you, Robert. Is he fixated, or are you sensitive to that based on your parental status? I was sensitive to it before I became a parental status, but maybe. I think we're all sensitive to different things. So the Creep Show issue featuring Philip Story comes out in November, I think, but the comic book stores have to put in their orders next week. Ooh, I want to get it. I got to get it. My local store told me to call and remind him he's supposed to hold my copies for me. Oh, so yeah, comic book stores are finicky. You got to have a good friend at a good one who's going to put the stuff on the side for you, because it's like they are first come first served, and they hold stuff for their close people. But yeah. Anyone else get the new Silverberg? No, I did not. For dementia, you must read The Side of the Room by Jones. It's a haunting tale. Yeah, I gotta read more Tyler Jones. I'm behind on that. I can't wait for Long Sight M40 to come out. That's I pre-ordered it. When does that ship? I'm sure you know Mr. Weapons. Oh, come on. Lethe. Let's see. Long sight. M40. October. So very soon. October. Dark Side of the Room. That is a great story. Oh, I got to read it. M40 in October. Yeah. I'm getting it with I already got my signed book plates, so I'm golden there. Signed book plates. I haven't shaved in a while. I haven't trimmed my mustache, so it's gonna be a lot of me sucking foam out of my mustache. As fun as that sounds, as entertaining as that will be. I was putting together tonight's show. It sounds like it's a production. It's not. And I realized it was going to be an all UK show. All UK. Because I was putting it together and I'm like, there's Broken Binding, which just announced. Well, let's just go through it. Let's just go there. That's what? Okay, that's weird. Where? Oh, do I not have it up? I must not have it up. Oh, this is clunky. I'm not a proud of myself. I'm not a proud of myself. So here it is. So here's the Broken Binding site. M40 is freaking amazing. Oh, I can't wait. So many good stories coming out and not enough time to read them all. No. So we have this new thing. So we got all these books, but they have now added The Graveyard, which is Brave the Frights That Lurk and our horror special editions. And they have Coffin Moon here, and then I love this. This title intrigues me so much, by Joey Beatty. It's Not a Cult. I'm so intrigued. And you got The Black Hunger, Place Where They Buried Your Heart, an Eric LaRocca book, a bundle here. They're bundling all their books. But then when you go down here, they have Tremblay and How to Sell a Whorehouse. No, How to Sell a Haunted House. But they have King Sour on Coffin Moon, and the King Sorrow looks exactly the same as the one on Broken Binding, but Coffin Moon is different. It has these stenciled edges. Because if I take you over to our friends there at Black Crow, you could see their Coffin Moon is yellow. It's all yellow, like the what song? The Coldplay? Was that Coldplay or Radiohead? Same song, same group. That would really piss off my daughter. But so yeah, it's slightly different. But their King Sorrow looks identical to the Black Crow one. And Black Crow is now competing with Broken Binding. So I was kind of confused by it because Black Crow came out of Broken Binding, was my understanding. But I think I'm mostly just absolutely shocked that King Sorrow and Coffin Moon are still available. I don't know how that happened. It's Joe Hill. And then these two are sold out, and I have them both. But nothing else. Ron was supposed to get this for me. And Ron, I forgot about your email. I'm going to email you back. Sorry about that, Ron. If you're still hanging. Oh, you're right there. Frederick Backman was a short novelette about dementia and titled and everything. And every morning the way home gets longer. It's good, not horror, of course. Ooh, how to sell a whorehouse. I saw that too. I thought they were the same. Yeah, I mean the King Sorrow definitely is. They have the same end paper shown on the Black Crow and Broken Binding site. The sprayed edges are the same. The cover's the same. It's the same book. So I'm just surprised that it's still there. It's still available. But but then there's more from the UK. Obviously, if the dollar holds against the pound, you can order from the UK. Books are exempt from the tariffs, so order with confidence. But there's another book that a friend of mine on Facebook alerted me to. I was so happy because this author, I love this author. Interviewed the author twice, and this is his new book, Thomas Oldehuvelt, Darker Days, signed edition. It's coming on October 23rd from Goldsboro, and it's signed, and it's Thomas Oldehuvelt. Now, I don't know why Tor Nightfire parted ways with him. That doesn't make any sense. So I am kind of bummed that the cover treatment is going to be different than Oracle, Echo, and Hex, because that was fun. But I don't mind. I don't have a signed Oracle, and I didn't read Oracle. I loved Echo. I loved Hex, and just didn't make time for Oracle yet. But Darker Days from Goldsboro, signed edition. If anybody likes Thomas Oldehuvelt and you want a signed trade edition, nobody I know got Oracle signed. I looked all over. I could never find a signed trade edition. I haven't looked on eBay. Maybe they're out there. I would love to have gotten one. That way I'd have a signed edition all the way through of Thomas Oldehuvelt books. But I fell asleep at the switch. This used to be called November. And I like that. He had Hex, Echo, Oracle, November. I mean, I like that. I like that it was all those one-word titles. It's fun. It's a system. You could dig it. You could dig it or not. But this is Darker Days. It's like it's almost like Shirley Jackson's The Lottery or Ursula Le Guin's Those Who Walk Away from Omelas. Similar in that in this dystopian it's a utopia with a dark secret. I dig stories like that. And in some ways, Hex was so this is a utopia with a dark secret, and Hex is a dystopia pretending it doesn't have a secret. I love that book, man. I love that book. Anyway, Darker Days. So I don't know of any signed editions stateside. Maybe they'll be coming up. Sorry for the lisp. Again, it's my bit tongue. Just a production note. Goldsboro's doing a signed hardcover of Hill's novel as well. Maybe that's taking some of that Black Crow money. Yeah. Joe Hill is going the Joe Abercrombie route with all the signed special editions of the trade. I also ordered King Sorrow, the trade edition, US trade edition from Waterstones? No, what? There's a place that's a bookstore in the US. It's not Waterstones. Oh, I feel stupid. I could find out unless somebody knows. Those Who Walk Away from Omelas is one of my favorite stories. I have a beautiful letterpress edition from No Reply. Really, yeah, it is a beautiful. It is a crazy story. You know, that just kicked into my mind that I really wanted to get the yellow wallpaper. When I was in college, they made me read a bunch of books. I took the literature track at UIC, and some of the books they made me read stuck with me. Those Who Walk Away from Omelas was one of them. And the Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch from Philip K. Dick stuck with me, but not in a detail way, just as an overall trippy way. I loved it. And then the Yellow Wallpaper. What a horrible story. It's very triggering, that story, The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins, I believe. Suntop did an edition. Oh, man, I almost bought it. But again, it was like $500 I didn't have. So I didn't do it. But yes, if you've not read Those Who Walk Away from Omelas, do it. And it's also a good gauge of where you stand. Although we've been more than tested recently about where we stand. But if you read that book, you're like, what would you do? Dark. I must not be posting. What's up, Christopher Bowers? What? Am I missing stuff? Am I missing you? What are you saying? What are you saying, Christopher? When does Francois' chapbook go on public sale? I don't know. If anybody knows, please help out, Alan. I don't know when it goes up. St. Mary of the Lost. I don't know if you saw it, read it, posted around. I shared a video on it. There it is. St. Mary of the Lost. It's a really atmospheric read. It's stifling. Stifling in the sense that, you know, the same way snow traps sound and makes everything quieter. That's the spirit of this book. It really feels like you're being cut off and isolated. Very creepy. Very jealous too that somebody with that much artistic ability can also write. Just like Keelan Patrick Burke and Chad Lutsky, all these people that do both. Had a question about that Hot Twisted Retreat. I think that's who it is. Title that we all want. When is it out? I don't know. Christopher, I don't know. Somebody thinks it might be January. I've heard that suggested. So I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if it will be January. They give little teasers. They gave like emoji teasers of their upcoming releases. Like they're like, you know, September, October, November, December, January. And then they were all different emojis that highlighted different aspects of possible elements of the stories. And that one for January totally lined up with the one book we all know and expect to be coming. So I think January. Oh, I thought it was sooner than that. Yeah. So here's the thing. The full box subscription is available. You can get on that. But the book only subscription, I think there's a wait list. So if you can, I think you have until January, or at least until December, to get on it. But I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong. And I would hate to do that. I don't have solid information. I don't know for a fact. So use your own discretion. This is not a recommendation to buy, sell, or trade. It's for entertainment purposes only. That's the disclaimer my lawyer just told me to say. Paul's turnaround is so long. Yeah, the slipcase needs to be done before we get carrying comfort. Yeah. Well, Paul's turnaround is so long, but in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't. And I gotta say, I haven't been tracking very closely with Suntop because I haven't bought a book from him in a long time. So I've had no skin in the game. I haven't been sitting there waiting on a release. So I have no sense of the time. And if you're telling me it's taking longer and longer, then I take your word for it. But he did open up the bindery to do it, to get those books out faster. Did you see that Chismar is selling King t-shirts now to go along with his King Dairy library cards, King bookmark? I know. It is so pathetic. I have a Oh, what happened? Wow, that's crazy. It sort of blew up. That was weird. Look at that. What was that? Wow, what is going on with the camera? Very weird, man. I think Chismar is going to town and sabotaging me. Maybe it was normal for you, but on my screen it really went crazy. Yeah, I have an Easter egg with Chismar in my story. And I hope I don't get judged too harshly on that. I haven't bought a single Suntop this year. Oh, I used to buy them every month. Paul is still 1,000 times quicker than CD. Yeah, well, right. Angels have landed. It wasn't. Did you see that? It just went all. I think maybe at that moment I shifted to a parallel universe. Is it better here? I don't know. Where I came from, it was pretty crazy. I did just buy 2 tickets for Jeff Con. Oh, we got a. Mike Hughes will be there. 2 tickets. And I'd imagine we get to see Elsa's art. The tattoo version of it. I'd imagine. That's awesome, Mike. Thank you. Now you definitely look Irish. Yep. Yeah, this doesn't give anything away. That doesn't make me look. Oh, you like that farmer's tan? Oh my God. I didn't get any sun this year. Look at that. Fish belly. Third rule at Jeff's house. I'm getting the Spanish language version of Third Rule. Mitch was supposed to send it to me. I don't know if he did. He said he did. And I got the tracking information. But you never know what you get until you open the box. It could be something, it could be something. I don't know. I hope a beer's in there. Oh, thinking about Mitch makes me think about the story, which makes me just sweat a little bit in a very awesome and a very scary way. Because, your words come to bite you in the ass. Again, as somebody who dumps his brain out every Monday onto this channel and every Sunday in the newsletter and every other video I do, I'm such an open book and shared my opinions about other authors and other stories and all that. And now I'm going to put a story out there. And it's going to be so easy to say, Jeff, how dare you criticize other people? I hope that's not the reaction, but whatever. But now I'm putting skin in. You see what I'm saying? It's like Roger Ebert criticizing movies, and then he makes a film, and it's horseshit. And everybody's like, "Wow, you better just shut your mouth about movies." But there's a different muscle you work when you as a reader than as an author, of course. And you could be a better critic than an author. That's for sure. You could be a better author than a critic. I doubt it. I think if you're an author, you have an extra layer of understanding of how to judge a story. Maybe it makes you softer because you have an appreciation of the the heavy lift of it, you'll give somebody a little bit of a break because you're like, well, it's not the easiest thing in the world. The thing I don't like are people that write shitty stories and then act like they deserve accolades. I will never be that guy. I will never be that guy. I mean, I'm not going to be somebody who sits there going, oh, my stuff is so worthy, which is a problem. But we're not here to psychoanalyze Beef Daddy right now. Hello. I had Jeff Word on the background during a vicious game of Monopoly. Damn. A Monopoly deal? I don't know that's another game, but Monopoly is like the number one cause of domestic violence. Surely families have been broken up over this game. Yes, of course. You have run the risk of divorce, arrest, restraining orders. And really, you can't make it out on the other side of a game like that and still think kindly of the people you sat with. Like, really? I didn't have any money for rent. Really? You made me mortgage my properties? That's I can't count on you to cover for me in harsh times? Wow. Okay. All right. We're going to be like that. Then you file that away. And then when a deceased relative situation happens and you have to go into probate, you remember all those Monopoly nights. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm divvying up the real money. I don't care that you took care of mom for 10 years while I lived in another state and bought 2 homes. I don't care. I remember Monopoly night. If you give me a signed king, Jeff, I'll buy 2 copies of your story. That's what Mitch said to me. So Mitch said, I'll publish you if you let me win a signed king book in a raffle. So this has been planned since 2020? I don't know. Been traveling a bit, so nice to be back for a live Monday. I'm glad to have you back, Kevin Hyman. I'm looking at your name now, and I see that there are 2 N's, and that's important for a reason you don't even know about yet. I'll just say that. Kevin, did you go to Seattle yet? I know you were planning on it, getting out to Seattle, for living and such. So I don't know how that's going. I know Ron, our friend Ron, went from Seattle to Arizona. Wow. I mean, I've never been to Seattle, but I've been to Arizona. I've been to Phoenix, Tempe, and Flagstaff, all around the state, basically. And that's hell. I mean, Arizona is hell on earth. I could not live there. My ideal environment is where I live right now. Even though I was born in a different environment, the forest is where I belong. Not that I'd be able to survive in a forest without air conditioning and, a roof. I'm not pretending to be a mountain man. I'm not going to go and chop down trees and build a log cabin or anything. But I respond better to a forest. So I could never live in Arizona. But my understanding of Seattle is that it's all rain, all cloudy. I couldn't live there either. So the cloudiness of Seattle versus the sunniness of Arizona are 2 extremes that I don't know. I don't know if I could exist there. Ben, those arms tonight, Jeff. Nobody told me this was a gun show. This is an open carry state, Chad. It's open carry. I have been pulled over by cops and told to wear sleeves. Not like Tim Bedwell. No. Tim Bedwell. If these are guns, Tim Bedwell has cannons. Seattle is taking a bit of time. We got our land, but it's closer to Gig Harbor than Seattle. Right down the street from Dimmerman. Oh, Dimmerman, apparently. That is cool. You're gonna like sit outside his home and like they do at King Manor out there in Bangor. Sorry for your loss, Stephen Dwayne. Oh, you're catching up. Kevin's catching up. That is due diligence to go through and catch up with everybody. Oh, okay. I'm getting something via Facebook Messenger I thought was pertinent to the. I thought it was something about maybe ticket sales or I can update things, but it was something else. That's fine. That's fine. But Kevin is going above and beyond, catching up on all the old chats, and I think that is stellar. Kevin, I just learned that my wife's sister is moving to Gig Harbor in a year or so. Gig Harbor. I like that. I like that. You want a gig of internet? And welcome, Chad. I'm glad to see you here, Chad Lutsky. Good to see you. I'm glad you could stop by. Jeff, Mike didn't specify which signed king. I think there are some signed Owen Kings you could send him. Interesting loophole, Lance. Do you work in law, by the way? Because that is pretty crafty. I do have an Owen King signed book, but it's also signed by Stephen King. It's Sleeping Beauties. It's double signed. It is a most disliked Stephen King book that I really liked. I mean, I don't know if I really liked it, but because everybody was hating on it, I think that lowered my expectations. And also, I wanted to love it because I had a signed special edition of it. So I have the trade and a special edition of it. I actually have two copies, the Cemetery Dance one and the trade edition that I got at the event where he spoke with his son. Great memories. And I love those books. I also have two signed copies of Bag of Bones. Funny story is Philip Fracassi wanted one of them, and I couldn't part with it. Could not do it. I may have Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr.'s Frankenstein. No, what, his number? Wow. Dedication. What dedication? Got to recommend Adam Neville Last Days. I was depressed when I spent 2 nights in Phoenix in July. Really? With all that sun? Although that sun chases you indoors because it's so cruel. And there's no respite. I'm sorry to hear that, Christopher. And I don't take that D word lightly. That to me is a heavy duty word. So I appreciate that on a different level than just being sad. So sorry that you went through that. But yeah, I think there's a recharging quality to the forest that, we try to walk every day with our dog. We do. I'm saying I say me, I should say that. Because my family, we all walk the trail. There's a trail near our house and get some of that sun, some of that air. And it's rejuvenating for sure. Riff Raff, Magenta, and Columbia won't blame this creature of the night for leaving to get 30 minutes more sleep before exiting the coffin. Good night, everyone. Well, good night, Jason. Glad you were here. I hope you have some good rest. I got 2 in the mail. We'll get back to you. We'll get you back to Washington, Ron. What'd you get 2 in the mail? 2 in the mail? What? I'm slow to catch up on things if I said it and you respond in a timely way, and I keep flowing down the river. I'm in the kayak of my river of words, and I don't understand when I come across it. Oh, 2 Frankenstein. Damn. You got 2? Wow, that's a crazy mix-up. That's crazy. So you might have Stephen Dwayne Allison Jr.'s. Maybe you both come to Jeff Con and you exchange them there. That's a way to sell tickets, Jeff. Sell those tickets. So I posted the paid Patreons members, or I got the link and got a discount code. So if you want to join my Patreon at a paid level, go for it and get the code. The after I go live, I'll post to everybody else on the Patreon, and then I'll share it more widely with everybody. But yes, the website is like it's saying Keelan Patrick Berg, Philip Fracassi, Rapture Publishing and Brewing. It doesn't mention Bibliopathologist. It doesn't mention the giveaways that will also be because of generous donors. I've been contacted by a few people who are asking to add something to the giveaway, and I'm like, I'm all for it. As much if people, I'm happy to take something from somebody and give it away, not and attribute those people for their kind donation. Anything to make it more fun, more celebratory, and have a big stack of stuff to give away at the end would be awesome. So I welcome it. And I'm grateful for anybody's generosity in that regard, or anybody who buys a ticket is, I don't expect to make money on this. I expect to spend money, but I consider it a party I'm throwing for us. And I'm so happy to do it. Really, nothing thrills me more. And I'm very nervous about it, of course, but I'm very excited. And I know December 7th, I'm probably just going to collapse in a heap at the end of it all. And I'm going to need a month to just like let my brain reform. I know producer Jill has lost her mind. And so she's worked on the website and burned herself out there. So it's been crazy, and I'm so thrilled to get to this point. And if there will ever be another Jeff Con, I don't know, but I'm going to take this one and put all my chips on this section of the roulette wheel, and I'm all in. So I hope it's a blast. How about Cowboys-Giants games? Who knew the Cowboys could win? Yes. I'm getting my brains beat in by Mitch. I could see him there in his little Steelers jersey. Because I didn't play. I played a quarterback who's on the bench. I didn't adjust my lineup. When I looked on Thursday, it said doubtful for Purdy, the San Francisco quarterback. He was doubtful. I'm like, okay, well, I have to check back before Sunday and update my roster, and I never did. He would have beat me anyway because Mitch is having a monster game, but that stings. That really pisses me off. I still have a daughter in Washington, Kevin, and a new grandson, so my wife and I are typically in Washington for a week every month or so. Impossible to break the Washington bond. Yet hoping to get them down here soon. That's beautiful. That website is kick-ass. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that on Jill's behalf. She needs to hear that stuff because she thinks I'm full of shit. She doesn't agree with anything I say, especially if it's a compliment. Then she just thinks I'm pandering. I love it. And like I said before, the first time I saw that site, this whole thing got real for me, even though it lived in my head, even though I had been wanting it, envisioning it. It didn't exist until she made that website. It really didn't. So Me times my internet glitches and the live starts at the beginning. Have to fast. Ah, sorry, Christopher. Love the website. Just got my ticket. Yes. Here we go. That's great. Great. I'm happy because I get to see you. So that makes me very happy. And I will say, people were asking about swag bags. If you can't make it, can you buy one? And there are two people I have bookmarked. I know I'm going to set swag bags aside for these two people. But after ticket sales go on, we're going to order a number of supplies for the swag bags, and we're going to have a number of chapbooks printed and all that stuff. So that's going to be a quantity that gets produced and created for the swag bags. And then there's going to be a number of tickets sold. Whatever the difference is, whatever doesn't get distributed during JeffCon, we'll put up on the site and we will sell. So if you can't make it, there will be ways that you can recreate the swag bag experience. If not, just you're not going to be able to be there and smell the scents in the room and actually be in the space, which is entirely the magic. But you'll at least get the thing if you couldn't make it. That's so stupid. That was the stupidest thing. I mean, it's up there. And I got to say, I'm holding it pretty well for a 15% ABV and a bit tongue. What's the URL, Jeff? Chad, I wanted you to go as a guest with a table with your books, Chad. I'll message you, Chad. Right now, it's the Patreon paid members, and then it'll be for everybody who's even a free member will get the link. You won't get the discount code, but I'll message you separately, Chad. Yes. So I'm excited. It's going to be fun. I couldn't do it without Jill for sure. And I'd probably be in a heap in a corner I wouldn't even be going live if I didn't have Jill helping me out. So cheers to PJ. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was a Patreon thing. You don't have to. Oh, no, Chad, what my whole thing about that was you should have been a guest of honor. Okay, maybe that 15% hit me. With a table and all. Well, whatever. I don't want to put you on the spot. But God, when I found the space, the original space, I was much more ambitious. With this other space, I mean, I would love to have Chad Lutsky, Tyler Jones, Francois Vaillancourt, all these people at this JeffCon. That would be my dream. But also, you got to set goals that are like that are not overwhelming, and you're just like crushed under the weight of crazy ambition. So, Chad, I could be your +1 or even a +3. I'm still hoping we can get Sean to make the trip. No, Kevin, Sean already told me he won't be able to make it. He's one of the people I'm setting aside a swag bag for. He's definitely getting a swag bag because that guy was a force of nature, and a very big part of Fracassi Fest, and a great guy. So, yeah. I know, I'm sorry. Just know I very much appreciated the invite. And like I said, if you do end up doing some kind of online thing, I'll be there. I will be doing online stuff, Chad. So anyway, I will message you privately. So, what else did I have to talk about tonight? We talked about Broken Binding, talked about Thomas Oldehuvelt. Sean will be missed. Yes. Should we get a candle light for Sean, the Sean votive? Do we have a picture of him we could put on like one of those candles? That sounds grim. So that sounds like a memorial. I don't like that. But some way to commemorate the Australian wrecking ball. Maybe we get a ball on a chain and we put the Australian flag on it and we swing it. It says I came in like a wrecking ball. The Australian wrecking ball. Yeah, it was awesome meeting Sean, even though I couldn't understand a word he said. He was great. Now, you just have to sit with him for a while. You know, it's like watching a Shakespeare play. You just have to sit with the language. And you're like, okay, I got that word. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that one too. I got that one. And then you get 3 words in a row. And then before you know it, it's flowing together. And you're like, okay, I got it. I understand what you're saying now. And it's always like, I want more to drink, like that's like basically what it comes down to. And yeah, he was a great guy. I kid because I love, yeah, after a bit in the bar, I was catching on. Yeah. Well, alcohol also is a great translator from Australian English to American English. Yes. So, yes. So we talked about that. We also, the funny thing hopped up on Facebook this week, which it was kind of a funny side note, nothing really to go into, but somebody posted on the unofficial fans of Fabulistic site, or whatever it is on Facebook, the unofficial one. It's in 2 weeks, it will be a year since I pre-ordered Sleepy Hollow. I think this was you, Christopher. No. It was it you or was it different Christopher? It wasn't. Was it you, Mr. Bowers, or was it Christopher Walker? I don't recall. But somebody posted in 2 weeks, it'll be a year since I pre-ordered Sleepy Hollow. And I'm kind of surprised. And I think I'm going to end up regretting this decision. I haven't heard anything from Fabulistic in a while. I didn't plan on talking about them tonight. I was going to have Lauren on. I was going to talk to her. I was going to interview her because of the things I said. And I feel, again, I think that's a prime example. I came on strong about Fabulistic. And I'd hate to be judged by that because I was pretty pissed off. And so I would love to have a chance to talk to her and interview her on the channel. But they haven't come out with Sleepy Hollow yet. It looked so far along when they announced it. They're a Big 5 publisher. They have extensive resources. Now, I didn't look at the comments underneath. So I don't know if I feel stupid. Was her name Lauren, or am I messing up her name? Her last name was Armstrong. Oh my God. I'm so out of the loop. I don't know if she responded to the comment. A year, really, it's still within the ballpark of getting a book out, but you're starting to get attention now. And people are Taylor. Oh my God. Why was I thinking, oh, that's weird. That's weird. Taylor Armstrong, right? That was stupid. Christopher Willis posted that. Okay. Yes. I knew it was a Christopher. Sorry for lumping all the Christophers together. I apologize. That's Christopher-ist of me. Or namist. Anyway, but you're starting to get noticed. Like, it's been a year since I pre-ordered. You're a Big 5. This is a public domain title. Like, what's the holdup? It can't be lack of funding, you know? And it does raise an eyebrow, maybe two. Maybe two. If you raise two eyebrows, do you go from suspicious to shocked? Like just one is sort of like skeptical, but both are like, oh shit. So it raises an eyebrow. Is Sleepy Hollow their debut? Yeah. So they had Sleepy Hollow. They had The Many Lives of somebody, a hot new title. Then they had Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak, which I almost bought. Why did that make me think of 5 golden rings? I almost bought that effing book from that place with no real hope of ever getting the book. That's on the spot, people. With 15% ABV in my B. A and my B. No, it wasn't me. Good night, Jeff and Jill. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, David, for being here. The Duff Bucket is kicking in. Yeah, the Duff Bucket. You know, when I said yeah, it made me think of Chet or Chit. You know who I'm talking about. Do it, lady. You got whoever knows. Do it, lady. Yeah. Do it, lady. You know. Chit. Is there a black purse in here? You know. Go look it up. It's all over the interwebs. Chit is funny as hell. He is. I love those skits. It's like a ripoff of The Office, but also a ripoff of Will Forte. I will say. Chit. Do it, lady. I like that. I agree with the one. Name that tune. Jeff's favorite drinking game. Yes. We're gonna not finish this live. As a reminder that this brain vomit was brought to you by Dogfish and Affogato, which means I forgot. Oh, Worldwide Stout, Affogato. Not to plug Rapture's competition, but you know, Mitch isn't here. He was here. He's busy kicking my ass on the fantasy football field. You could smack talk here, Mitch. You can come on here and give me the what for. Yeah, you could do that. Affogato, does it taste like vanilla and espresso? I don't remember what it says. What does it say? Imperial stout with coffee and natural flavors added. 15% ABV. Oh, 15% alcohol by volume. I just say ABV. 12 fluid ounces. Limited release. Affogato. I'm back. I passed out rocking Jude to sleep. Oh, I remember those days. Good night, Patty. I remember those days, Mitch. Every old ass parent is going to tell you the same thing that you've already heard. Enjoy it and appreciate it when you got it, because I didn't. It's a very stressful time of life, but it goes by. Good night, all. Need to mend relationships following the Monopoly game. Go take care of business, Kevin. Go take. Don't walk up to any RVs, Kevin. Let me just say that. Don't walk up. Don't approach any RVs. Please, for me. Just promise me that even if you don't text it, you're not going to approach any RVs. I'll have to check that out. Sounds good. It is good. It is, the thing is, it's 15% ABV, but it has flavor. A lot of these gimmicky brews, they go for that punch and they sacrifice flavor and actual enjoyment. It's like those spicy peppers that, what are they called? Covels? Jill? What do they measure heat? Covels? Scoville. Yeah. It's like those peppers that are really high in the Scoville rating, but they're not flavorful. They're just painful. So this is actually flavorful. It's pretty good. It's not a Jeff Ward stout, but it's good. And I'm sure it's available anywhere beer is sold. I got it for my birthday. So I don't know where it came from. A liquor store. A little 7-second delay because I remembered a joke from when I was a teenager, and I just was sparing you. These are the things I do. It's my value add to spare you from me. Autumn Springs. Oh God, I didn't. So this is the third thing in my UK thing that I was going to talk about. It should be up, and it's right here. Yes. So this is the third thing in my UK thing, is that Blackwell's has Autumn Springs Retirement Home Massacre. They have the US edition hardcover, which is that legal? Can they have that? I don't know. But they have the UK cover right here. And of course, this includes delivery to the US. Blackwell's is awesome. They deliver to the US for free. GTFO. OH. That's how I wouldn't say GTFO. I would have of here added on, but I actually really dig this cover. I think Autumn Springs has the two best covers. Well, I don't want to say that. That's not true, because now all of a sudden I'm remembering all the other covers. Let me just say, I really like these two covers, so we could just do that instead of pitting covers against covers. But I think Autumn Springs has two really cool covers, and this is the UK edition, and you can order it from Blackwell's and get it before JeffCon, so that perhaps you have an unsigned copy, and then whoop, magically it gets signed somehow on December 6th. You know, that's a possibility. I'm just saying, you know, or maybe there will be copies at Fracassi JeffCon, and you could buy them there. I don't know. I'm not Nostradamus, but if you want to guarantee you can get a copy with this very cool cover, this is the way. Blackwell's in the UK, and it's very modestly priced. It's a paperback. That's how it's coming out in the UK. That's the way you got to do it, I guess. That's all you get. So you have the US trade edition, the UK paperback edition. Those are both first editions, and they're releasing simultaneously. And then possibly some special limited editions will follow. I don't know. Or do I? All I know is you stay tuned to every goddamn where. Stay tuned to this channel. And when things become announced, I will echo those announcements, and you will hear those announcements. And then you will act on those announcements if you see fit. So, I like the UK cover better than the US. Really? I ordered the UK from them. $13 with shipping is amazing. Yes, it is. It is. It is pretty damn amazing. I don't know if you ordered one or two or three or five. I don't know. I don't know what you ordered, but it's a very reasonable price. And if you're coming to JeffCon, it's going to be awesome. I got to say, I like the book even better the second time. I think I said that already, but I like it even better the second time. It's a great story. So I hope you all can get it, can come here, and we can be in community and be, I'm doing the audio version of it right now. Maybe I should have done that. I don't know. Sorry. I got a Facebook message that I had to check out. So anyway, we talked about Autumn Springs. We talked about Fableistic, Thomas Olajuwel, Broken Binding, Suntup, the teaser, and Bedwell's Boys Life. If you want to see the Boys Life numbered edition, go to It's Terrific. One of the few YouTube channels that's Jeff approved. There aren't many. And I didn't talk about Subterranean Press. They have Widows of Winding Gale for sale in their current email. They also have Absolution from Jeff Vandermeer. Those are great titles. Widows of Winding Gale is just amazing. I am sad. I am really actually sad that there are copies available from Earthling. Because it's such a great story. And I hate to see it get neglected. It's not neglected, but I don't know. So anyway, but go over there and get it from Earthling, get it direct from them, or Subpress, whatever melts your butter, man. Whatever. I had a thing going, whatever. Good night. See everyone online next week. If you're on Patreon, you're a paid Patreon member, you got tickets available for you or not. Also merchandise will be available later. We just wanted to get as much of a head count as we could on the ticket sales. So that's just Patreon. And then I'm going to let the everybody on Patreon know, and then I'm going to make it more widely available. So stay tuned. Definitely by next week, I will be pushing that URL everywhere for everybody to go check it out. So anyway, thank you for being here this week. Thank you for giving me a respite from the week. I'm sorry if there was talk that you weren't here for earlier. I'm really just responding to everybody in the audience and sharing my thoughts as they come. And that's how it's always been, and that's how it's always going to be. So I hope next week's a better week for everybody. It's my hope every week. And anyone, seriously, I haven't done this in a while, but it's a constant. Anyone who's going through the storm, just know you're going to be better on the other side. Cheers to you. You're stronger than the storm. So good night. See you next week. Get tickets if that tickles your fancy. Stay tuned for swag bags if you can't make it. And just know I am grateful for each and every one of you every week. Good night.